I want to talk about what it really means to design and install mental software. So, because we're on the cusp of a new year in the Inevitable You system, it's not just a change in the date on the calendar. This is literally, a change in the software that's required to accomplish all the goals that you're going to set for next year. It's time for another upgrade. We're constantly and never ending improving here and always making upgrades to the software, just as Microsoft doesn't stop upgrading their Windows software. They've been on Windows 10 for several years now, but I'd imagine they've been working diligently on the new software set whenever that might be. So for you to think about that, think about this for you and your mental software. Think about it as it's time to make some new upgrades, some new changes. And, even for longtime clients, the tendency is to look at the difference between, the old you software, whatever the year you were 5 years old. So for me, that was Windows 93. Looking at the difference between 93 and this year, whatever, some of you it's for Windows 21, Windows 20, getting it up to current, getting it up to speed, and think, wow, that these upgrades, these changes, the difference here is awesome. I like this. I'm getting momentum. I'm getting some really great results. Typically, we see when people first enter the system, not only do we meet the expectations as far as what they're wanting to accomplish, could be a pain that they want to fix, a vision they want to implement, something that they want. We not only meet it, but we'll exceed it a lot of the times, and people really fall in love with it. And but the shift from year to year really should be more of a compounded interest point of view to Windows 61. So it's not just an incremental improvement, thinking, you got this amount of growth this year, and so next year it's, you pick up here, and if you can get that same kind of incremental jump, for most people, that's a positive, versus really thinking about this as compounded. You get up here or even beyond, and this kind of upward, hyperbolic trajectory continues year over year. That's what it should be. That's how you want to think about it. Thinking about 21, what would it really look like for this next year to truly be, epic and legendary? What would that even be? So we begin to look at what last year was, and for those of you that have been in the system, was it just above average or incrementally better? Was it this quantum leap? Was it epic, legendary? Even, with all of the challenges that we've all been presented with this past year, what we preach here is that it's not about the data. It's not about, reality's happening and I'm just using language to describe it. We constantly, habitually use language to create the reality that I want. So even in the presence of very intense challenges, very, in the 10% of life, when it's the world's being rough and mean and challenging, that being a catalyst for your greatness. That's all software. That's all a software design. So it doesn't matter what the data is, it can still be epic and legendary. So you know how to excel in some areas of your life. You know how to set goals, even whether it's for work, maybe other areas like your health, for instance. But will you excel here? And here being not only within this, your program here at the Inevitable You, but whatever here means for you, whatever you're wanting to focus on, whatever your outcomes are, whatever you're wanting to do in 2021, will you apply that same psychology in that area? You know, it becomes dangerous, it's risky, you're leaving your comfort zone, you're moving into the magic zone, and all the while, you know, failure is rising, you're taking new, different actions, fear is rising, counterintuitively again. So we've talked about this in other months, other webinars here. This is all part of what we teach here, that this counterintuitive place of fear and failure rising, and for many people they think, well, that should go down, right? I make a change, I make an upgrade in my life, those things should go down, right? Yeah, no. If those things are not rising, it's a good indication that you haven't really made a quantum leap into the software. So again, we've covered a lot of these tools already. They're on the member site. They're in the Live Life by Design course, walks you through a lot of these important concepts. We even have, you know, a 9-step process that we're going to touch on this month, in January, or in December, leading up to January, again, to help you with your New Year resolutions, your New Year goals. This is on the member site as well. You know, we're going to get into goal planning, setting, and keeping. But before we do that, it's really important to address, again, this notion of what does it mean to write software, to design it, and most importantly, to now install it. You know, so what does it mean to write a program for that, a software program? Well, that can just mean, you know, tell a different story, tell a different script, a different story as to what's going on. Or, you know, another way to think about it, just a series of thoughts, feelings, and congruent actions that lead to a new you. So really, software is just a series of instructions of what to do with the data. So a program, again, is just a series of sentences. Remember, sentences are always revealing the software, and, you know, within the NLP toolbox here, we're using language intentionally to reprogram the mind. So it's just a series of sentences, you know, thoughts that are conveying reality at a habitual level. And that's it. You know, sometimes we use complex words here, like programs. It can be kind of confusing, but at its most basic level, it's a new sentence. So, you know, what would that new sentence be? What is that new sentence connected to the new you you're hoping, wishing, wanting to be in 2021? Now, it's also important to understand how our brain is working, and what we're attempting to do with the tools here. So, when presented a data point, and presented something in our reality, we're always asking, what does this mean? Now, we assign a feeling to whatever that meaning is that we create, and that leads to the actions that we're taking. And so a lot of the work that we're doing in designing old software is really interrupting this old you cycle, because what a data point means to old you is going to be very much different to new you, even greatest version of you. And so we can do this with tools like the I choose meaning, ICM. That's the acronym. Where we take a data point, we look at half full and half empty meanings, and then you get to design, you get to create the new meaning. Changing the feelings, getting control of our emotional intensity through associating and dissociating. So either putting more emotion towards something or pulling emotions out of, taking emotions back, dissociating from something. And again, all of this is fueling these new actions that we want to take. So within any topic, now we can take what this is referring to, the greatest version of you pattern. Again, you can find this on the website. It's in the greatest version of you section. Apply the greatest version of you pattern. Coming from an inside out place. It's what I want. I'm marching to the beat of my own drum, not what other people say, not what other people think, not what I think that person wants. Again, what arena? Could be health, could be money, love. We've covered these topics throughout the year. Now it's a pattern of great thoughts, feeling a pattern of great emotions, and a pattern of great actions. And we have tools now to interrupt old patterns. So anytime a new or an old song on the radio comes on, what's my new song? How do I interrupt it? And then fear and failure, again, management, where there's tools like Peekaboo Street, for instance, in the fear and failure management section, that helps you in dealing with what I mentioned above, fear and failure rising. If we don't have some of these foundational tools in place, what's going to happen, and where people get challenged with these new actions that are required to accomplish the New Year resolutions, is it becomes, that's where you get tripped up. That's where you procrastinate on it. You don't stay committed to the new diet, to the new exercise, to the business plan that you're wanting to implement. And then constantly we are absolutely eliminating sabotage from our strategies. And sabotage being different from failure, because we don't learn when we just fall over or sabotage ourselves. We learn from failure. So these fear and failure management tools go hand in hand and help with eliminating sabotage. So this is a roadmap for any specific topic that you want to focus on, but to write it at an operating system level. So I've talked before about money, health, love being application softwares like QuickBooks for your money, like Facebook for your social, versus the operating system like Windows. The application is always going to be limited by the operating system, or the mental software is another way that we put it here. So to do this at an operating system, the highest, the most impactful level is the model of the world. And most of you have seen this. It comes right at the beginning of the Live Life by Design course of really any experience that you enter here. We have specific models of the world for specific topics as well. But the model of the world, not only is it you'll see here a diagnostics tool, or a capturing tool. We're capturing the mental software as it exists today. We're taking a snapshot. It also becomes a design document. It becomes a blueprint for new you. So you can think of this as a mind map. If you've done these before, if you like that kind of tool, when is a blueprint done? When is Microsoft done designing Windows? Yeah, again, never. So it's a ever evolving, ever expanding, document that allows you to design the beliefs that you want, design the meanings, that tell a new biography, a new story, change your top 5 challenges and trauma and what those things mean and meant to you and how it, relates to your greatness. So again, this is forever work. This is a tool that you want to be very comfortable with, not comfortable, fluent with. That's part of your regular toolbox here. If, for instance, a hammer is one of your favorite tools to use, that the model of the world is something that you want to do on a regular basis, once a year. And my pen is not working, so give me a second here. So, operating system, it comes with the model of the world. Now, that's really what we have available, for doing this design work at the highest level. We're going to give you some more tools because it doesn't just stop with those. There's over 400 tools here, but those are really the most important ones that you want to know. We have a series of diagnostics, so meaning we're going to diagnose what's going on. We're trying to find where the problem or the cause of a challenge, get past the symptoms. I mean, this will allow you to analyze and look at some of the symptoms that are going on. It could be, lack of success in your business, not much, not the highest form of love that I want in my relationship, not the health that I want. So we're looking at the deepest root cause. It could be in a towards and away realm. Are you more focused on what you don't want versus what you want? Is it in the IQ EQ realm, emotional versus intellectual? What's it really driven by? What model of the world is it? Are you in old software or new software? Do you even know the difference between those? So many different tools that we can use to really diagnose and understand what's going on. A whole host of installation tools. Now, what's important to know, since I'm don't want to just throw a bunch of tool names at you, but so you know how it's actually done. I already mentioned the model of the world. Not only is a design document, it's an installation document, but it's really done with an intention that this is who I'm wanting to become. This is what I want for my outcomes. And really then it's only two ways that change is done: repetition and intensity. So repetition being the mother of all learning, doing this over and over and over again, new sentences at a habitual level. And when you can infuse a lot of intensity or emotion into this, be it excitement, be it joy, the excitement, the emotion that's going to fuel these new great actions, and allow you and continue and repeat this over and over again with love and joy and high EQ, high EIM. And of course, action. Can't just think about these things, contemplate making a change, contemplate swimming without actually, getting into the water. So action's really where the rubber meets the road. It's where you get to test out the software. Is it working or not working? Is it what I want or not want? And then again, for purposes of time, because we're focused on design and install tonight, we have rebooting, reinstallation tools, and really taking this into greatest version of you. That's where the I have a dream speech comes in. That's where still model of the world base. If you want to take this into the future, that's where these tools are very valuable. And again, they're on the website. If that's where you want to take this, if that's what you're looking for in 2021, is this epic legendary place, you have to design the software at that level and know that it's going to be different from just new you, just what's current for 2020 or 2021. So that's it for the content. That's really the start of designing, how it's done, tools that are available to you, how software is installed. Next week and for the remainder of the month, we'll be getting into the little more of the specifics. We'll get into the 9-step process. We'll get into some more great tools on actually creating great 2020 goals for you.